Good morning and happy Saturday. I hope this stream is better than it was before. Good morning, Truth Finder. So I just want to go over these remains that were found. So they were found on September the 6th in Carroll County, Virginia. The estimated age range is between 4 and 7 years old. Good morning, Kimberly. It says they cannot estimate the height or weight of the child. The circumstances of recovery: the skeletal remains of a young child were found in a trash can in a wooded area. The condition of the remains are partial skeletal parts only. They're not recognizable. The hair color is unknown. The head hair description is 1 to 2 inches, strands of straight hair, indeterminate color. Unknown eyes color. The remains were found with a gray and blue sleeping bag, a white blanket with pink flowers, and Winnie the Pooh fragments of orange and pink cloth near the body. So this child has been missing for a long time, and the father's praying that this may be his child. And it says, the child's remains were found in a wooded area in the Iron Ridge area of Carroll County in September of 2022. Police are waiting on DNA testing before they can say whether the remains are connected to any specific local case. They were found not far from where 5-year-old Logan Bowman went missing 20 years ago. Lara Newell is the long-term unidentified coordinator for the Virginia Department of Health, whose job is to investigate all of the cases in the Commonwealth of Virginia that have been unidentified for a long amount of time. Excuse me. Which is relative. It could be 2 weeks because there's no movement on the case. We don't have any further information, or it could be that they get referred to me after 2 months. Once all the investigative leads have been kind of looked at and closed on law enforcement side, said Newell. Most of the cases referred to Newell have no presumed identity. It is her job is to figure out who a person is and restore their name. A majority of my cases, unfortunately, are skeletal remains found in some sort of area where there is no information about who they might be. You have someone who is found in a house, you can look up who owns this house, who pays the rent, who owns the car in the driveway, or who's getting mail there. When a body is found in the woods, she said, you can look at who owns the land, but a lot of times, some of them are body dumps, and there's no relationship between the person who owns the land and the remains that are found. We stop receiving information that can forward the investigation. We run out of leads. We run out of ways to get the person identified, and then they come to me. According to the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, known as NAMUS, there are currently 200 unidentified persons in Virginia. Newell's entered information for every person. That information includes the date of the location, where the body and remains are found, the demographics, details of discovery, physical description if available, clothing if available, and accessories. To me, one is too many unidentified people, she said. I'm a firm believer that everyone should have their name. When someone is referred to me, it hurts a little, that they have gone through this, that they are dead. And whatever manner of death they experienced, they did it without someone knowing their name. Newell said there could be family members looking for a person and they don't know they're deceased. I think that part of my job is to be the person that cares about all these people. You know, you have the public who will see a case, oh, unidentified remains found. 6 months later, they're never identified, and they kind of fall by the wayside. But I look at them every day. This is my job. WFXR News decided to speak with Newell and learn about her work after reading the NAMUS report about a child's remains being found in a wooded area in the Iron Ridge area of Carroll County. They were found in a trash can in September 2022. According to Alvin Wayne Bowman, they were found not far from where his son Logan Bowman went missing. He lived on Fry's Road there, so I thought, well, might be his, but we don't know yet. So we have to wait and find out. We ain't going to say, said Bowman. He last saw his 5-year-old son while dropping him off with his mother, Cynthia Davis, on Christmas Day 2022. Logan was reported missing a month later in January of 2003. He was a good kid. He didn't get in trouble. He loved school, loved going to church, and I had him in church all the time, said Bowman. Bowman said he's hoping the remains found belong to Logan so I can get over with, so I can have my proper burial. We got a little headstone up there at church for him. It's got his picture in it. According to court records, Cynthia Davis entered a plea in Grayson County for 2 counts of child neglect and 1 count of homicide. She was sentenced to 10 years for each count of child neglect, with those sentences suspended, and 30 years for homicide, with 15 years suspended. Court records also show charges were filed against her then boyfriend, but later dismissed. Logan's body is never found. They have to answer to God, not me, said Bowman. You have to forgive them. That once things you have to learn to do. Bowman said he still remembers the day Logan was born. He was so small. He had to buy him Cabbage Patch doll clothes. When he was born, he only weighed 3 pounds 14 ounces. He was a preemie. In an email, Grayson County Sheriff Richard Bond said that his department has been working with Sheriff Kevin Kemp and the Carroll County Sheriff's Office regarding the unidentified human remains. Unfortunately, we don't have any new developments to report currently, Bond said. Carroll County investigators are waiting on additional DNA testing being conducted by the Virginia Department of Forensic Science. Everyone involved in this case hopes to have a positive ID on the human remains soon. For now, Logan's name sits among a long list of missing persons in Virginia. There are 335 people whose families don't know where they are, or even if they're alive. WFXR News asked Newell if some of those cases could be overlapping with her unidentified persons case. She says they absolutely could be overlapping. The issue is that sometimes the medical examiner is able to get information that they don't have on the missing person side. Newell later explained that there could be a lack of dental x-ray or fingerprints or no family to compare DNA. That's why she works tirelessly to give these people in her care their names back. She says anyone can access NAMUS online. Some missing person reports have been uploaded by loved ones, not law enforcement. A person simply has to create an account, which is free. So I haven't been looking at your chat. Hi, everybody who just came in. Is that close to Roanoke? I'm really not sure. It's right across the line. Yeah, I'm just you, Cabbage Patch clothes, so it must have been a preemie. But the sleeping bag does not look like something that's been there that long. I mean, by now you would think it would have been rotted totally. And that sleeping bag is like, it doesn't look like it's been there long, in my opinion. I think they took the picture down from online. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Y'all seen the thumbnail with the sleeping bag on it. Yeah, you agree, not that old looking. But when you go to Wiki, it says the child is a doe. I don't know if I can find that. Let me see if I can pull that up. But I was shocked to see that NAMUS, that anybody could pull that up, could fill that in. So it's not law enforcement who does that. So here it says Carroll County doe, discovered September 6th. It's been unidentified for 6 months and 18 days. So I would think if it was that little boy that they would already know since they have his father's DNA. It's just weird that this says it's a doe, which would mean a female, not a male. And then to be found with, pink and white, a white blanket with pink flowers and Winnie the Pooh fragment of orange pink cloth. But I guess people could bury a child with anything. It's just crazy. It's weird you would think by now we would have heard something. I think the sleeping bag is not old, and the Winnie the Pooh you can see. I know, it's strange. And it's strange it's been a half a year, 6 months, 18 days as of today. And you don't see law enforcement saying, we found this child, we're looking for the identity of this child. Here's a composite drawing or something, you would think. Makes you wonder if they know who the child is. And if it was the boy, they would have notified his father. We just don't have any faith in our judicial system, because if they believe the mother took the life of this child, of her son, why would they give her a suspended sentence? It's just like Ronnie Lawson's son. Like the crime doesn't fit the time, in my opinion. It is sad, I plead the fifth. Whoever this child is, somebody threw him away like garbage. And we're seeing that more and more. Just like the little boy in Pinellas County, he was found in an alligator's mouth. I wonder how he got there. His mother was unalive. But did the little boy walk out the apartment and get into the lake, and then the alligator got him? Just so many strange things nowadays. Things I didn't have to deal with. Or maybe we just didn't hear about it back then. I'm not sure which it is, if the world's just went crazy or what. I know what is going on. It makes me wonder. I mean, in the Bible it says in the last days, that's what'll happen. Parents will take the lives of their children and vice versa. I agree. I don't know if there's just more cases out there or we're hearing about it more often because of social media. Hi, Rhonda. Yeah, it's a crazy world we're living in now. Feels like they're destroying us from the inside, our own government. You just don't know who you can trust in this world. Doe means it's unknown as yet if the remains are male or female. If male, John Doe. If female, Jane Doe. Thank you, YouTuber. We're definitely living in the end times, in my opinion. Yeah, it seems I hear that on a lot of channels that I go to. That things are just playing out. But is it designed that way? It makes you wonder. The world is turned into an evil place. Yeah, I don't understand that. Why people have turned that way. That's why I say evil entered. Seems like when they talk to neighbors of these people who do these hideous crimes, they were like the greatest neighbors, but they turned out to be the evilest people who walked among us. Just came back in. I find it odd that they're keeping this so quiet. Maybe they gave me a who it is. I know, that's what makes me wonder if it's Summer. Because wasn't it you, Kimberly, who said they told you they had Summer's file? I believe that we are near the end of times and the Bible is playing itself out. Yeah, and the government's helping it along, it seems like to me. Yes, streaming's free. I just don't understand how these people can take the lives of their children. A commenter on Dee's video on this topic says they saw this blanket in the video of the Wells basement. Not sure. I've looked at video again. You know, I've been looking to see. I went back over pictures that they've shared in videos. I haven't found it. Yep, keep the faith. Was wondering that, YouTuber. Good morning, I plead the fifth. If anyone has gone through the photos, I've spent hours looking, but they have so much stuff piled up in their house. It's hard to tell what's what. Drugs and alcohol can be crazy things to people. Yeah, which turns them evil. I have a family member who's a prison guard, and she says that she feels sorry for some of the men in there who they've done horrendous crimes, but they said if they wouldn't have been on methamphetamines or out searching for pills, that they would have never did the crimes that put them there. Cam and Allie saw some items scattered. Please ask them what it was. They said they reported it. Yeah, it seems like other YouTubers I've emailed don't respond back, which is perfectly fine. Yes, the officer said he had Summer's file. I called to ask them if they knew about Summer, and that is what he told me. Meth is one evil drug. Does anybody know how many billboards were actually put up during that whole fiasco? I only know about the one in front of the church. Does anybody know? Because that's what I've emailed another creator about, but they've never responded. And nowadays they're mixing fentanyl with everything. two, I think. For some reason, I thought there were two put up. And for how long? Just that 1 month? Because I got an email back from Christy Vincent, and she said that she repaid the money and they put up multiple billboards. And to ask this one creator, because she knew. But I never got a response. Electronic one and a stationary. Right, the electronic one across from the church. And then where was the stationary? I don't think that cost $8,000. Not long at all. My memory serves me right. Yeah, because you would have thought the local YouTubers there would have took pictures. Especially Cam and Alley, you would think they would have. We've seen the digital one, they took that. Yeah, Dolly made a banner, right? Not a billboard. And that supposedly got stole off the hill. Makes you wonder if there's something evil going on in Hawkins County, like, I don't know if it's a possessed place or something. Yeah, I would like to find out. I only know of the one when I went to Rogersville back in the summer in town. Not one poster summer was posted. It was odd. People didn't talk. That sounds about right, Beth. Why didn't the media manager do anything with Billboard? Makes you wonder, right? Yeah, I don't trust them either. Hello, Amy Sanchez. The huge one. I don't know, and I did feel for Candace's friend, but then she called us all MFers. I didn't get that. And when she downs the creators who have been here for summer from the beginning, she acts like everybody's made a fortune on this. But of course, you see, she put up her Cash App and Amazon gift list for her daughter. Still there, the one Dolly made. Oh, I thought Mr. Media Manager said it was stolen and he wanted it returned. Hello. So, I felt for Kathy, but now rumors are going around that she did know Candace prior. You don't know what to believe on here. You hear so much about these people. Wow, that's really odd, putting up a cop shop in the wish list while putting down the creators. Yeah, I found that. She's got another live scheduled, I think, for this afternoon at 7 o'clock this evening. It says, my apologies, and then something else, but I won't be tuning in anymore. Whatever happened to the banner thing Candace was holding in the parade, and then they put it in their roof? I don't know, maybe that's the one that got stolen. One of them got stolen. No, it's there. Yeah, probably just some more of their crap. Seems, you're right, they do. They all lie so much. And I wonder if Candace and Dawn are playing games with the critters on the farm, lady. It seems like they all know each other. I mean, in PG's, Don come up and him and PG had this cussing match, and then you go back to look for it, and she clipped that part out, which we all know PG knows them personally. You could be right about that. Right at the beginning, somebody posted the whole town knows. I've never in all these years seen a family lie as much as that family. Yeah, but it's not just the Candace and Don, it's the neighbor, it's all these creators that popped up from the area. They all end up knowing each other. They pretend like they don't. If the trash can was above ground and not buried, I'm sure the Wells are too street smart to leave a body unburied or concealed, or too lazy to dig deep enough of a hole. Critter said she knew Ernie a long time. Yeah, and Ernie's had a place in Beech Creek. He's got addresses prior from Beech Creek. There's many creators that do, that are big creators. They play games with everybody. Yeah, I don't know if y'all watched Enchanted Life Path, but he put out some interesting stuff that I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to look into it. In a way, it kind of makes sense if what he's saying is the truth. If what he posted, I should say, is the truth. He's backing it up with receipts. Tim Mullen and Ernie movie documentary. They released both opened with scene from Little League baseball field. Yeah, that's what makes me wonder if these remains aren't Summer, then I think she's near where Tim was videoing what was is about. The movie documentary, very orchestrated. Yeah, it's just very weird to see all these people popping out with distractions. It really makes no sense. Ernie, big QAnon, lots of rubber ducks and photos with Summer the year before she disappeared. Tim gives me the creeps, just everything about him is off-putting. Yeah, especially when he says, puppy dogs, kitty cats, horsies. And come to find out that Robin and the flute player knew each other prior to when they said they did, because there's videos of him playing the flute before Summer went missing. It is weird. Ernie, Sesame Street, Rubber Ducky, you're the one. That's what the movie was about. And they were both up there the day Summer went missing. Yeah, he acted like that was the first time he'd ever been there. When Dawn said Summer went off with him and Robin prior to that. That's how she got to know him. Yeah, hear no evil, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. They just do the evil. They all went to Barham Baptist Church. Was that where Ronnie Lawson went to that church? I wish we could find those interviews from the very beginning with Dotson. Oh, I have them. I was going to do a a video on it from what he said before and then what was found out just not too long ago. Don, Candace, David, Dotson. I heard Brandon from that church. Ernie movie was about child preds. Tim Mullen was his journey to meeting the Wells. Yeah, that was a weird video. I think those ladies did an interview with Dotson, Allie, and one more person. I forget the channel name. Yeah, I have that. I have that saved. Oh, Mary. Yep, that's what it is, Unmasked. And then they had a big falling out, too. I would like to re-listen to all three of those. Yeah, I want to put them together with what he said, all of them, and then what's come out. And what Dawn said, none of their stories are the same. Why such a big production over a missing child? Well, because somebody's trying to cover up what's going on. There's too many irons in the fire. Summer Distribute was very, also made me think that she passed. It upset me so much, that video. Tribute. I have notes from day one, tons of screenshots. Yeah, and I'm sure now things that they said back then, they're saying different now. I remember he said something about Candace showing him a video of the boys swimming that day with Summer. Right, the boys and Summer. So many lies and inconsistencies. If you listen to all Allison's interviews, she never saw Summer the 15th. Yeah. She's changed her story too, how she walked out to the car and then came back and said she lied. I don't understand why all the lies. How about just don't speak to nobody? Yeah, she went to Utah on June 15th. I don't know if that is just rumor or true. You're talking about Candace's friend, Kathy. Is that Barham Church, the one by Eastman and AH? I believe so. And the pastor there is they're associated with Egypt, which I find weird that flute player is also associated with Egypt. Hello, BJ Marshall. Allison only describes the milk video and photo, no other details. Yeah, she was coaching her son in the interview with the interview room. No, I've not seen it. Is it new? The whole town is weird. Illuminati stuff. Yes, please assist. It is extended from parts of it we never saw before on Dance Interview. Yeah, this case has just been crazy. The only thing that gives me hope is it took 2 years for them to arrest the parents of Orrin and Orson. So that gives me hope that they might just be gathering evidence. You know, there are no body cases that people get prosecuted for. I mean, I went and searched, this has been years ago, maybe 15 years ago, for Amanda Brown, and we used our boat. Me and my ex-husband took the people with the dogs to try to find that child because the guy who, her mom brought a man home from the bar. He gave the mom Xanax. She knocked out. He took the child in the middle of the night, and he was a crabber. And so they believe he chopped her up and put her in crab traps. But she was never found, but he's in prison for life. Everyone in Beach Creek are liars. And then the normal people in town think the wells had something to do with it. Hallelujah. TBI Ellie never acknowledged the milk video, only swim video. I know, I've often thought about that too. Like, they don't believe it was done on the same day. Does anyone remember during an interview that the grandmother said H hadn't been right since CW brought him home? Yeah. And that chasing truth or chasing justice, whatever, one of them have that on their channel. Yes, you're right. Not one time did they ever confirm the milk video or even talk about it. Yeah, and that video had filters on it from the beginning, and maybe that's why. Because you can't see not one tattoo on Candace. You don't see the milk jug sweating, which they would have had to have been. I think that interview was with Molly Golightly, wasn't it? It could have been. Look at a video, a memorial for the Eastman explosion. You will see several familiar names. Yeah, well, the head guy of the chemical department has the same last name as the guy who worked with Dawn. Coincidence? I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. That's why I tell everybody, look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. That's what I do when I find something on another channel. I go look it up and see if I can, find information myself. The still video used last live, you can see the tailgate open and a street sign behind the truck. Looks like it could be near Dawn's work. I know, but you know how many people have come at me telling me that that's a screenshot of the video. Even though out of Candace's own mouth, she said there was a video and then a screenshot. They were at two different locations. But I don't argue with nobody about it. And just like the contradiction with Dudley and Dobbs saying Don drove the Subaru the day before, and then Dobbs saying he saw Don in the white truck on the 14th. Yeah, and I don't like the games Dobbs played. He played games by doing that, a murderer. They said, oh, that's how he breathed. No, he was clearly saying them words. It was like everybody's got jokes in this missing child case. That I don't understand. Since that tailgate was replaced. Yeah, she went out of town to Wisconsin. I'm just me. Are you talking about the milk video? I believe Don drove that Subaru only one day, and that day was the 15th, because Dob wouldn't have known about the white truck, in my opinion. Yes, Truther, but not video. It's a photo. Right, there's two separate milk jugs. One's a picture, a still photo, not a screenshot, a photo. And one is a video. Wait, what did he say? Dobbs, he did a video when he first started his YouTube channel out with his dog, Green. He called him Green Eyes, and said, a murderer, murderer. He must have said it like 4 times. I did a video on it. I think Benny Keys did a video on it. A few people did because it was disturbing. Let me see if I can find it and I will play it. Give me 1 second and I'll look at it, see if I did it. Yeah, because he even said he was going to sue me. Let me look through my project. Is that video still up on his channel? I don't know. I did not see that, but that is weird. CW stated CW was in Subaru and said the canoe was put on. Denied that the canoe was leaning against the house by back door. The Suburban got sold quickly, and the Suburban got sold to who else but Candace's friend, Kathy. He said on Don B interview he's been there every year on June 14th through 18th, 19th, 20th. I'm interested in the large donation made for the reward. The one that was pledged or was given. Let me look up that video. And I'm going to play Truth, Lies, and Alibi. He's been wearing Tennessee. Yep. I'll have to go back to listen to that interview again. I definitely think going back to the beginning and going over all the interviews again would be beneficial. Yeah, especially knowing what you're learning since the beginning. Picture Dobbs posted of dog as evidence he was at motel was old from 2016. Wait, why? I thought he just bought that property on the venue. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I believe he's got relatives there in that county. Because there was also a leaked phone call that somebody pocket dialed a resident of Beach Creek where some ladies in the background saying, God wants me horny. And he was like, who? That's the one I put out, and he said he was going to sue me over. Do y'all remember that one? Dobbs got off easy with his threats to sue people, ruled him out quick. Well, because he could hardly breathe, so it made you wonder. But let me share so y'all can see this one. Okay, this is from Truth, Lies, and Alibis. Yes, I thought he did have family in Tennessee, but not in Beach Creek. I did not know that. Yes, I remember that. In Ducktown, that CW mentioned in Sam's interview that she took H there as one way to Dobbs' old house. Yes, all right. Let me play this. I don't care if I get struck. Hold on, let me get through the music.
Nothing like letting the butt run free. Nothing like letting the butt run free.
Just strange, huh? This is a Dubs post to YouTube. Or is he talking to somebody? Yeah, but even out of breath, you're going to say a murderer. Hard to tell he's having such a hard time breathing. So disturbing. What is he saying? He's saying a murderer. Becky from the DA's office told Smiley that the property is the crime scene with a cluster of people. She asked about searching the property. Yep, that's what it said. It is creepy. Like, if you're totally innocent, why in the hell would you do that? Unless he's saying it to somebody there. At first it sounded like let her run. Yeah, he says nothing. No, I'll play it again.
Nothing like letting the butt run free.
It is creepy. Nothing like letting the butt run free. It's the craziest thing. But there's so many on here playing games in this child's case. And TBI is aware of it. They said they're aware of the scammers and they're aware of the people who are, they're not just putting it online, they're calling in crap tips on purpose. And that thing that Enchanted Live Path put up, if it's true, if what he found is true, it's crazy. Did you hear you murdered her? I spoke to Becky and asked her if they think Summer was sold. She said no. She also said Summer was deceased. I could not believe she opened up and Smiley recorded her call. Yeah, they knew on their second press where the horse ran down the road. They knew at that time they were looking for a body because when they said she will be as big as a piece of paper or as small as a laptop, that made me know they weren't looking for a live child. How does this help Summer, foolish old man? No, and it just made him look worse. What's edited truth finder? All of them, you literally cannot trust anyone on YouTube. You never know who's telling the truth and who's bullshitting, especially in Summer's case, and it makes me sick. Who in the heck plays around in a missing child's case? Or any missing case at that? Oh, ELP's bid, it's made up. Child's case, especially your own parents. I asked Dobbs about that, and he never answered. Because he realized that people were listening. I think the ER visit was for Summer, and she didn't make it. Yeah, Susan, I'm wondering if he was speaking to them on Beach Creek. Like, you guys know what happened. You know what you did. Because if his story is the truth, and they ran him off, but I don't understand how they had his phone number. Because somebody running me off, I'm not going to sell my property to and give you my phone number. Sometimes they don't have no damn common sense when they're telling you their lies. They just think just because they say it, you're going to believe it. But if I bought a piece of property, which I thought was going to be my retirement place, and then you come with me like the way they did, I'm not selling you my damn property. I'm not giving you my number. Grannis went in for cover-up of CC cameras. H called for alibi. Yeah, they involved that kid, which is the horriblest thing they could have done. That was weird. Late on the 14th, something happened, in my opinion. Yeah, because law enforcement can lie, even though TBI said that there was somebody saw her that day. Maybe somebody claimed to see her. Maybe it was made to look that way. But Dobbs said that Andy was there on the 14th, his parents, Dawn and Candace. He said a bunch of them. So that was weird. What were all of them people doing? Just because somebody moved on to their property? That's just weird. I agree with that 100%. I believe they brought in HN for a reason. why Allison never saw Summer, and why Summer didn't eat. Well, and Summer got out of nowhere. You see how high-strung that child was at the church? You think she gonna sit in the car while they get out and go in all them places? No way. Yep, she was in the same clothes as Gatlinburg. We may find out she disappeared that day, and everything else was just staged. Allison is lazy and just wanted to make herself look better. Plus, Allison made a lot of money. Allison made a lot of money. You guys will laugh when I put up, I only made money off commercials, and you'll laugh. I've received one check from YouTube, and it's because it has to be $100. So 7 months, then you get a check. Yes, she did. How? How did she make money? She put her Cash App out. People paid her for interviews. I think Molly Golightly gave her 500. I think another channel gave her 500, and that's not counting all the Cash Apps that she got. And then H's dad, he's made money. People's paid his phone bills, his electric bill, his rent, bought him cigarettes, beer. And same thing with the neighbor. She wants to bitch about all these other channels making money, and she's been right there front and center since the beginning. She was on Andrew's channel with her Cash App, also answering questions for money. Exactly. Milk video is last known of Summer, in my opinion. Oh, I believe that that's the last time, but I don't know if it was the 15th. I'm wondering if that video was shot prior, and that's why law enforcement isn't saying anything about it. No, she's probably Pam claiming it as a gift. Because you notice a lot of the YouTubers say, "Oh, thank you for your donation. Thank you for your Venmo. Thank you for your PayPal. Thank you for your Cash App." They ain't claiming none of that on their taxes. It's a gift. Hunter was supposed to meet with his girlfriend that day. Has anyone heard, seen anything about that or any statements given? Nope. I honestly don't believe the milk video. The only reason I do is because of the black ear, the purple fingernails, the blood coming out of the stomach, where they thought when they put the filter over it, they thought they had it all hid. Somebody just did a quick, fast job. BJ, that is in the CM interview. Who is BJ? You can type it out. I definitely have questions about that video because Ellie has never confirmed that video. Right, and then for Dotson to say that he's seen a picture of Summer and the boys swimming that day, or a video. Hunter went to the park with his girlfriend that day. That's the story, and Allison was at the ballpark, of course, with no phone. Allison and Lindsay, then age, and his girlfriend's family say they were in Bristol, closer to the unidentified remains. B.J. Marshall. Yes, exactly. Well, wouldn't they need somebody to, if them or Summers, it would make sense that H would get his girlfriend to drive him there. It makes sense for these idiots to put it on a child to do the dirty shit. But then you've seen that Hunter was in a car, stole a car with a child in it, and then was with that other guy, Haskell, I think his name is, when he tried to kidnap that kid off the lawnmower. Thank God they weren't successful in doing anything with either one of them children. And Allison was sure to say her phone was dead. Yeah, and they wanted everybody to believe that he was in a home when actually he was in a youth facility, detention facility. But yeah, I'm going to bring them interviews that David Dotson did and then show where it's proven he was knew Robin prior. Was it Hammonds? They're around so much trash, you get them confused. Haskell, Haas, Hammond, Lights. Andrew said that had to do with gang activities, and H was just following orders. Okay, he's following orders. Then did he follow orders and was in on what happened to Summer? If this was reversed and a 40-year-old man had some 15-year-old girl swap giving alcohol, drugs, sex, and inappropriate TikToks, people would be pissed. Oh, yeah, just them laying in the bed together. One of my friends' sisters, because she let her kid sleep in the bed with her and her boyfriend, they took custody. Grandis has experience with missing persons after Rose. This is where the fake timeline originates. Yep, I think Grandis is in neck deep in this. A commenter on a video says that metadata shows that the horse pond video was taken on the 14th and the milk jug video on the 15th. Yeah, because somebody told me that Candace H. and they said Summer got on a boat at the horse pond and went off for the day and then came back. How much of that's true? I don't know. I've gotten so much shit in my emails, which made me jump on to side-eyeing a lot of these people in the beginning, because it was like they wanted you to go with what they were telling you. No, not Summer. It was about stealing the car. No, yeah, I know what you were saying. I plead the fifth. I'm just saying if they will steal the car and then be with somebody who's trying to steal a kid off the lawnmower, what won't they do? Andrew said that H didn't know there was a child in the car, supposedly, allegedly. Well, they're not going to surely tell the cops that if he did. Then why is Candace out roaming around? Because the cops don't have enough evidence, or they're building a case. I don't know which. I don't hate them. I don't have any hate to Candace. I've never contacted them. Don't care to speak to them. They showed me all I needed to see in the beginning when their child went missing. I was shouting on every channel about Summer being in Gatlinburg, closed, and a week later, CW did an interview with local paper and mentioned Gatlinburg and Grandis's knee. Yeah. Well, why'd the boys kick the shit out of Grandis and hurt her knee? Have y'all asked yourself that? Maybe the brothers were trying to protect their sister. I've often wondered that because they said the kids hurt Grandis's knee. Well, what was she doing for the kids to attack their grandma? My kid would never put his hands on his grandmother. So I've often wondered that. I mean, this is just all my opinion. They're just lucky I'm not the one making the decisions. Everything CW addresses and interviews is from watching YouTube videos and her trying to correct it to make it fit. Yeah, whoever's coaching them now should have been coaching them from the beginning, and people might have looked at them in a different light. So the new people coming on who haven't watched all the shit that we've all went through don't know. They just see what they're seeing now. Are the pictures of Summer in the same clothes in Gatlinburg? Yeah. When you see her in that, um, they did a picture of her in a casket in Gatlinburg, standing inside of it. And she had the same swimming suit on. Hello, borrowed angel. Yes, I played the bit. Yeah, Summer's wearing the same clothes from the trip to Gatlinburg. I did a video on that too. That's one of the first videos I did. Hatfield and McCoy's. Yep, that's where they were, in front of the Hatfield and McCoy's. It's just all crazy. Let me see if I can pull up. If I have it here. So then that's the case. Candace did not just buy those clothes. Well, she's not in the sweatsuit, not the gray and pink outfit. She was in the bathing suit when they took the picture of the Hatfield and McCoy. Pics of Summer so real thin, but Candace hasn't missed a meal. Yeah, but you've seen them pictures of Don way back too. Don looked horrible. He looked like he was 80 years old. Like he could have ripped somebody off and did all the product because he looked horrible. Let me see if I can pull that picture up. Yeah, you collect so many pictures. I cram my computer with so much information. Sometimes I deleted some things I wish I would have kept. Pull up the picture of Dawn. Give me 1 second. if I can find it. Oh, here. Can you see that? I love your channel. Appreciate working on it. You do. Oh, thank you. I called into Gray Hughes a month after someone went missing and gave my theory, and it still holds water. I ask this all the time for those of us that have heard it all over and over. Anything you'll have heard them say that has never been addressed. I also remember Candace saying she bought those clothes at a store for Summer's first day of school, and then comes to find out she bought them at a yard sale. Yeah, I have that yard sale flyer too. Yeah, he did look correct out. What did you call into Gray's show with? Probably with the phone. CW brings up Ducktown in CM interview for no reason and has never addressed it since. Them are probably some of them slip up. How was Candace fixing Brandis' knee brace if Brandis was taking a nap? Because she wasn't taking a nap. Ducktown, that is not the water park, right? Does anybody know? She said, not the water park. Ducktown is a town near the Georgia border. And that's where Dobbs is from, Georgia. Oh, yes, I've seen this picture before. This picture was at Gatlinburg. How long before she went missing were they in Gatlinburg? On Dee's Present, she has the exact date that they went missing. That they went there. Yeah, this picture looks like, right here, looks like Don was really, he could have been holding drugs or owed people for drugs. The way he looks there, he looks nothing like this guy. Previous weekend, as far as I know. Yeah, it looks like two different people. One looks like an 80-year-old man that's on his deathbed. Anybody think Jose is not passed and he might be in protection? Or he's not passed and just wants people to leave him alone? So you can see that bathing suit is the same as this. That picture has always struck me as odd. He looks 80 years old. He does. He must have been really struck out. You remember a video of Candace and Allison and the kids all in a car going on a trip somewhere, and one of them were yelling at the kids about something. Yeah, I don't remember where I seen that, though. The things that threw out just to try to cover something. Those may be the great clues. I believe the milk video, look at her fingernails and then compare them to John Benet's. I've done that. They are the same. I sent an email to Hawkins County asking them to look. They were angry. Yeah, it's a different, like when you call Carroll County, it's a different response than when people call Hawkins. The right side pic looks photoshopped and looks like child was added. What, the one, this one? The one just of her in her bathing suit? I screenshotted that from the TikTok video. The whole Jose thing is weird to me. I don't know what to believe. I know some people said they called and verified that he passed, but never seen nothing else. That's fair. I think that was before Dawn left for Utah. I do not believe Summer was passed in the milk video before. I asked my mom's heart surgeon what he thought, but he didn't want me to record and he didn't want to be put on YouTube. But he said she looked like she was close to death. My question is, if you remember that video with Candace and Allison and the kids, where were they going? I could be wrong, but I think it was to Gloversville. Because there was another video where Allison went to Gloversville and she had a little child on her way there and then had no child on her way back. But that little girl that you see on the left, that was Amanda Brown. That was the first missing child case that I got involved with. That was before I knew anything about YouTube. But she had a mother who brought weird guys home from the bar and then put her child in the same bed as both of them and passed out. Do y'all remember this guy Hoss too? He was the one using the Bernard's Wi-Fi. My niece passed from a stillborn birth, and you can definitely tell she was passed. Her skin was as white as a ghost, and her lips were dark purple. Her fingernails were deep purple when she first. I think something happened to Summer late 14th, midnight or after, while she's wearing long sleeve and pants before I knew about Dobbs. Candace or Grandis woke and found her. Suspects Dawn. Came out, it was a kind of blue color, and then it just got deeper and deeper in color, but you can tell. Oh yeah, I've watched two people pass before my eyes. And it's a sight. Every night I go to bed, when I close my eyes, I still see it. Does anyone remember when Dawn mentioned in the behavior panel interview that Summer and Candace and Grandis washed their hands in a bucket on Grandis's tailgate, and that is why it was all wet? Yep. And then later, I think you changed it in a different interview that they went inside and washed their hands in the camper, which we all know they've said Grandis didn't have no water. Sorry for your loss. Oh, thanks. It's been a while. One was my father, but I knew before I got there because he wasn't answering the phone. And I told my fiance, I better get a milkshake because I know I'm gonna find him not alive. And I was like relieved at first because I walked right past his bathroom into his bedroom and didn't see him, and he was in the bathroom. But just the images, I don't know how people can unalive people, especially their own flesh and blood, without it haunting them every day. I wonder why that was an issue. I hadn't heard that sure now. Because I think what she's saying is that they were washing something off the tailgate. Probably evident. Tell me if I'm wrong, but sure now. I remember CW saying she put Summer on a pillow so the seat wouldn't get wet. No, pick a pillow though, in or on the seat. Nope. That was really hard on the family. It was my brother's first child, my parents' first grandchild, and her mother carried her almost full term. She ended up having a hole in her heart. I plead the fifth. I had a cousin. The whole family was there when she gave birth, and they didn't know that she didn't have a heart. And so the whole family's waiting for this baby to be born, only to realize that when the baby left the mother, it could not live outside the womb. When I watched my mommy pass away, it seemed she lost her color in stages, beautiful peach color to grayish and then to white. You never forget. Nope, that's something you don't. Heart that the doctors did not catch. It was horrible. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because I had to make the whole family leave so her and her husband could just grieve and not face everybody. I'm so sorry to hear, Winnie Blender. My best friend passed recently. She passed right before I arrived. She looked very peaceful. I can't even imagine. Yeah, I've had it happen to me 3 times. And then found somebody who was unalived at a canal here. And when I called, they thought it was a joke because it was on April the 1st. And the guy who was there, his roommate, said that is the one who unalived the guy and dumped him there. But it was horrible trying to convince the 911 operator to come to that location. Very sad situation, especially when everyone is ready and waiting for that child. Yeah, that was devastating. I mean, the mom, she quit her job. She couldn't, the place she had worked like 10 years, she couldn't face anybody after that. So it's horrible. It's a loss that you never get over. I can't believe these two and Grandis outsmarted TBI and LE. Yeah, do you think that what happened this summer that somebody else isn't helping them cover? I think so now. Very sorry for your family's loss. Prayers for you and yours. Thank you. We all go through it. It's a circle of life. I think the older you get and the more deaths you see, the the easier it gets because you come to realize that they're better off. What's wild is my brother and his girlfriend ended up breaking up after that as well. A few years down the road, they got back together for a one night thing and she got pregnant again. This time, my second niece did. So it was meant for them to have a child together. I try to find all the good and the bad I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be listening and cooking breakfast for my love. Many blessings to you. Well, have a happy Saturday. And thanks for coming in, Borrowed Angel. At PMK, I think Ellie and TBI know what happened. Gathering evidence and proving it so they can get a conviction is more important than arrest right now. Although I think an arrest is coming soon. Exactly. It'll be all worth it if that's what's been going on. Make it. She also had a hole in her heart and they fixed it right away and she looked identical to her sister, just a little bit bigger. Well, thank God they found it. The minutes 8 says Grandis was buying was probably CW so she could upload fake evidence for a fake alibi. Yeah, that's always sat with me. Or so they had a phone to call 911. How that is just what I was going to say. How much do we think is them and how much is a cover? Yeah, because so many people who have got involved to divert attention is crazy. Like the first video I did about seeing people in that still shot of the milk jug video, I must have got 30 nasty comments, but none of them people are online now. Not one of them names. It's the weirdest thing. And I used to get hateful emails from these random people, and you don't see them on here either. I hope and pray they know more than they are letting us know, because it seems like to the public they have no idea. Well, that's how it seemed in Orrin and Orson, Classic and Sincere case out of Bakersfield or California City. People just thought they gave up, when in all actuality they knew from day one, because they went and talked to them kids day one. The cop said when he testified that they woke each kid up individually out of bed at their grandma's and questioned them, and all the kids had the same stories. Yeah, they have specific people running interference. Yeah, there was a lady, Kathy, who was on here doing that, and come to find out she had a crisis actor business. When I seen that, I was like, oh my God, what won't these people do? I apologize to all. I'm so sorry. Just jumped right in. I'm new here. Just got so excited to see and hear intelligence in this case. Blessings to all, and thank you for being so kind. Oh, BJ, you're welcome anytime. I like to hear other people's opinions, what they think. I mean, to me, I would rather brainstorm. And like I said, if somebody can prove to me or show me proof that the parents had nothing to do with it, my ears are open, you know. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I'm not one, I don't think I know it all, because I sure don't. I think they know where Summer is, but not how or who. Who is a crisis actor, and what is a crisis actor's business? Like to go when there is like a tragedy, say like the train derailing, to come out and pretend that they're the people from the community, to make something like it's not already bad enough, you got to make it worse for the cameras. It's to instill whatever they want the narrative to be at the time. I didn't know such thing existed until this case either. That's the crazy part. Just like you, I was like, what the hell is a crisis actor? Then, of course, I had to dig into that. just to educate myself. Like, boy, I must have been a sheep before because I didn't understand there was such shit in this world. The case isn't cold. Ellie isn't holding pressers asking for more tips or help, so they must have what they need. It's just a matter of time now. And the players know it, why they're lashing out on YouTube. Yeah, I'm thinking they're trying to get people who may become jurors to look at them differently. Someone who knew the house, knew the layout, and knew they would be passed out. Is that the same Kathy that Candace was mooching off of while Dawn was in jail? Yep. Why, though? I don't know. Good morning, Bee's Knees. Yeah, he's still on my radar. Just there's something about him I can't shake. Yeah, there's a whole lot of weird things like crisis actors. I mean, how long have you known about crisis actors? Because I'm 51 years old, and that's the first I heard was 2 years ago, probably 3 months after Summer went missing. Murder case, I saw someone cut holes in the back of a tent, slid a child out. Nobody woke up. I seen that, and that was in Australia, right? And they found the kid with some weirdo guy who was a doll collector. CM knows more than he has shared with everyone. I believe his comments about Photoshop pics and that the watermelon comment has me wondering what he discovered. I live in Wyoming, and crisis actors are used for police and fire training. Well, I can see that kind, but not to pretend something either isn't or is bigger than what they want it to be. I believe the boys have corroborated each other's story independently. Somebody said the two youngest are separated from the oldest. Does anybody know if that's true or not? Woodbury, what watermelon comment? I don't think Summer never got out of the truck that day. I can't get over she jumped right up. Yeah, and that was said a billion times. Like the Idaho 4 case, what made it instantly viral? What is the first thing that you ever heard about that case? Just 4 college kids who were stabbed. My brother told me stuff like that years ago, what had to do with school shootings and stuff like that. I think I really started looking into crisis actors in 2020. This one America, I think, and a couple of children taken the same way. He said something about trying to above a watermelon in a container or something. That would be too small for it. The West boys told on their parents, and they didn't even consider Sincere and Classic their siblings. I know, that's so horrible what we've heard already. I heard that too. The oldest is separated. So the oldest in Classic and Sincere case, who was the biological child of Jacqueline and Trezell, the monsters, told everything. Absolutely everything. These are ideal people to frame, and because of their lifestyle, they can't report anything. Who, Candace and Dawn are ideal people to frame? I think the oldest son was having problems. The blood dripping out of the house, such a bloodbath that has dripped down the foundation. I don't think that was real at all. The human body has a lot of blood. It had to run somewhere. Guess we won't know how bad they were stabbed or see inside of the house, the crime scene, until the court presents that as evidence. I'm sure it's going to be something that is just so horrible. My heart goes out to that, all their families. It's not over. That's the problem. That's why Don took him to Utah. Well, he was letting him smoke pot and live like a grown-up, like anger problems and stuff like that. So they had to separate and get him therapy. Yeah, I feel bad for them kids. The only way I would ever have turned on my parents as a minor would have been for my siblings. Well, in the way Jacqueline talked, she kept the kids separate from the two boys. She told them, just pretend like they're not even there. Pretend like they don't even exist. I feel so sorry for the mother and father and the grandparents of Classic and Sincere. Like I said, Grandis and Candace and Don blame, but each other boys possibly too. They're not sure who did it. There was a case of a small boy who slept in the same bed as the older brother. He saw father taken and beat him to death. He testified against him. It was just because he wet the bed, poor child. Yeah, well, they should just get away from the child. Count to 10. Therapy is what has been rumored, and when it is in the best interest for the boys, things will move forward, allegedly. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's why Don was so pissed that there was an order from the judge where they couldn't talk about Summer. On a frozen foundation in 28 degrees temps, there's no proof they were removed from the King Road house. I think the boys are the main witnesses. And it's sad because that's another hell they're going to have to live over. It's so sad. Why treat them differently? Were they always marked for death? Yeah, it seems that way. But there's still a co-conspirator in that case. Who is that? If it's not one of the boys that helped them, who helped them unalive them children? Does anybody know if somebody else has been arrested? What about JSB saying she couldn't believe the body was basically still intact afterwards? Anyone remember her hear her say that? No, and I spent too much time out of my life listening to her. Hours I'll never get back. Because I was waiting for law enforcement to come and get her ass on alive. Yes, I agree. One of the best kind of advice I have ever gotten was it's okay to let them cry. If you feel overwhelmed, lay them in your bed and take a step away for a minute and breathe. Just saying, that case is fishy. Too many fishy LE agencies. Woodbury, what? Yes, she did. I heard it. Was that one of them videos that Jody took down? The puppy in the creek on the 14th comment caught my attention. Yeah, you would think law enforcement would do something about that when she admitted that they were selling drugs on the hill for kids to be sedated and touched. That was just mind-blowing. I didn't know how to save her clip before she deleted, but I took notes. That means somebody has that. The brother of West who holds a powerful position in NAACP in DC. Oh, I didn't even think about him. He was the one who put up 20,000 of their money because he knew they were never going to be found. Yeah, I figured she deleted it. I do not remember saying that, but I do remember something about Andy seeing Summers' unalive body. I cannot believe with all of that, cops are not up their butts. Yeah, and that came out of the daughter's mouth. Jody had her repeat that on a live. Candace wish list and nothing for the kids. But JSB and CW said the creek only had maybe 2 inches for depth. Yep. Let's not leave out foot fables and all that weird-ish. Oh, I know. They put out something every few weeks, it seems like. And that's a brown. That's some sicko, but TBI's and the FBI's aware of it. I want to know where the gate is Candace talked about getting out and unlocking before arriving home. I don't know. Right, glitchy shoes. Yeah, feet fables. Yeah, that YouTube channel's still up, too. JSB tells stories to get back at Andy, so I don't know if the drug story was true or not. She said so much I was in shock. I think it was like a chain. Well, they put the one up on Beach Creek, and then they put the one up on the road that Andy's parents live on. Once somebody sold a piece of that property, then they took that cable and put it across the road. So they don't want people back in there. Some of these people are just crazy. Tim M is a crisis actor, in my opinion. Yeah, he's just strange. That strengthens my suspicion that TBI has a good idea of what happened specifically. I remember the talk about the chain. So yeah, I wish they would let us know about the remains in Virginia. Who is that precious child? But regardless, I guess they have to collect a lot of evidence and put a lot of things through the lab to find out who put that child there. Like an informant move for info. I think that's because she wouldn't come out that night and talk to Ellie. Maybe they were onto her from the get-go and tried to loosen her tongue. Yeah, I've never heard of law enforcement bringing somebody liquor during an investigation. Well, technically, that drug story was true in Truth Finder because Andy was selling Dawn and Candace weed, and Dawn was letting the older boys smoke. So we don't know that. Think about Kathy reaching out to Candace she supposedly didn't know, and Candace staying with her. Yeah. But now people are coming out saying that they've known each other prior. But I'm sure just like you guys, you have a lot of friends. I have friends that I grew up with that we still as a group get together and go to the beach and, go camping, canoeing. Where are friends? and other family members during this tragic time of their life. Why have nobody come out for them? I just can't, I don't get that. Right, I haven't heard that either. Ellie should have worked on her while Don was in jail. Ever since the remains in Virginia became public knowledge, the Wells had all contact with kids cut off, and they've come online to make attempts to protect their reputation. Oh, yeah, with Don's Mormon haircut and his Mormon clothes. Nothing against Mormons, but he just like is trying to change his whole persona. But the good thing is they both quit drinking, it seems like. We just don't know if there were harder drugs sold. Fate called to Mary, storming the Capitol comment, pointing me to Ernie and the men angle rubber ducks. The fake call was pre-Ernie. Well, the JSB talks about going to, her and Andy used to go to Washington a lot, which has always made me wonder. So is there a Washington County in Tennessee? Does anybody know? Or is she talking about the capital, Washington, D.C.? There's something weird about Ernie, in my opinion. But it could be because of all the stuff that was put out about his brother, and that he could be involved in that. Drug needles all over the property and kids running barefoot. But when the YouTubers went there, they didn't see no needles in the creek. Dawn and Kim both tested positive for at least 2 different hard drugs within weeks, reporting their daughter going missing. Yeah, cocaine and what else? Finger Lakes, no trafficking location where H and Jose come from. That call was wild at first. I really felt bad for Candace, and then the more I listened to it, you knew it was fake. And the next day, they flat out lied to Crazy Crime Chick and told her Dawn was in jail. Yeah, who does that? And you notice at every press conference, where are they? Where are the parents of this missing child? Like you see with Michael Vaughn, his mother Brandy, and her husband Stan in unison with law enforcement since the beginning. I think Ernie is undercover. I don't know about that. He's no undercover to be put in hospitals for doing methamphetamines. Yes, I knew that. I wonder if they drug tested the boys also. It makes you wonder. But they probably, I don't know, they probably didn't unless they had some kind of knowledge ahead of time. Somebody would have had to said that the boys did drugs. Because I've gotten foster children. One I raised from the time he was 2 till he was grown, and they didn't test him. And then my sister has one, a foster child that she wants to adopt, that both the parents were methamphetamine addicts, and they didn't test the child. I always thought Benny Key was a CI. 'I. 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 Lamplight theaters, yellow theme. Yeah, there's something with that too. I just can't put my finger on. No, he's not undercover. Ernie has had these problems for a long time. Wait, what? Ernie was in a hospital? Yeah, he's been, it was online, but all them been deleted. But yeah, he was put in there a couple times, and Jimbo had to go get him out one at a time. And Jimbo, of course, videoed it for content. I heard that's why they shaved their daughter's head. CPS was already investigating and had ordered a medical check for SW before she disappeared. All allegedly, of course. Yeah, but then why was Candace's hair shaved and the youngest's hair shaved? The theater thing is weird to me, very weird. Yeah, and isn't some famous preacher own that, the Lamplight Theater? I can't think of his name. I can believe that it would vary. Yellow Deli, Google it. Yes, he has been in and out of the hospital a few times. Don sure is trying his best to get the oldest boy for some reason. Oh yeah, he wants to talk to him to make sure. Whether it's about Summer or not, there's something he doesn't. He wants to get him, tell him. But it had to do with Summer because he says, isn't that messed up? They don't want me talking about their sister like she's a ghost. Would like to know where the U-Haul pic was taken with Summer in it. Woodbury, you could probably ask H's dad. He'll probably tell you exactly what storage unit they went to. It's just funny because Jose had been arrested for hauling drugs, and they were putting it in TVs and table legs and stuff like that. So I just don't see somebody just making a round trip and stopping at a storage unit and then turn around and go right back. That makes no sense. What is theater story? Haven't heard this. Oh, just members of that theater just all popped out too hearing all this. Let me check out the Yellow Deli. Is the Yellow Deli in Rogersville? Let me know. I'll pull it up. I just watched a documentary on the Yellow Deli cult group, Utah Ties, and I swear I seen the same lady from Lamplight at Summer's first vigil. Oh, now I have to go watch it. Where was that, on Netflix? So you can move a child same way in a piece of furniture. Yeah, you could move anything, stashing it like that, and then stacking furniture over it. Shit, I remember when I was like 20 years old, I knew people who went to Mexico. The people gave them a U-Haul, gave them money to stack it full, and then drive back to Florida with it. And they did it a billion times before they got caught. But they never seen what was inside the U-Haul. But she had shaved head in that picture. Her head was shaved maybe Easter. Jose was alleged to have been there the year before. So how can that be if her head shaved in pic? Yeah, that on Easter it was. That April before she went missing in June. That area, it's about the trails. That entire New York trip and all the people is very suspicious to me still. Yeah, something don't sit right. They were hauling something, in my opinion. Because it was also the the week of the races, the car races there. Oh, it's on YouTube. Well, when I get off here, then I'm gonna watch it and see. Like in the couch. Yeah. Yes, where's the couch that was in front of the basement door? I don't know. A lot of people have wondered that. But it seems like now, if you say your opinion, you're hung by the cross, or you're building your channel on Summer's back, or you're making all this money, and why aren't you donating it to some child's advocacy center or something? I have my opinion, and I will stay with what I feel, what I've been shown. Like I said, till somebody shows me different. I would be interested to see the church pictures from Easter before Summer was missing. I don't know if I have them or not on this computer. You remember what it's called, the documentary? She said it's Yellow Deli. Let me see if I can. Stop sharing. And I'll try to pull it up. I'll get the link. And I'll post it so everybody can. Oh. Sorry about that, you guys. There's the link if anybody wants it. If the U-Haul pit connects to the New York trip, then the New York Jose trip couldn't have been in 2020 as Candace claimed. There's a video that I saw the other day of the Easter service. It was eerie. Okay, I will look it up after this. So I pinned up. Let me see if I can pin it. It's a hiker that made the video, I think. It's been a while. Oh, there. Alright, you guys see the link. Now everybody will be deep diving into that. Anyone remember a child on JD Missing Kids called Summer Lamb? Could never find anything about her. No, but he posted a bunch of missing kids, 3 or 4, after Summer went missing. I know Nana's Angels, there was somebody who was posting a missing child in Tennessee, and come to find out, that was a hoax. And I just don't understand why people do that. I am too, Kimberly. 6 months seems like an awful long time. But I'm here in Florida, like I said the other night, that our law enforcement agencies and the labs work together to push certain things right through, especially if it involves a child. The Saturday before Summer disappeared, the sermon mentioned Trump and child trafficking. Wow. And it's weird that the church took all of them down, too. One of the vigils at church where Don finally gets up to talk raises red flags. He talked about himself. Also, Don's and limps up there. all alone with a homemade cane like he's injured. What the hell? Wow. ELP looked at it after I told him, wondered if he was a decoy by LE. I don't know, ELP finds a lot of interesting things. That's why I always go, and when somebody puts out something, I go research it, because I want to see if it makes sense, you know. The church had missing child mock drills. Yeah, I know, I found that weird too. Seems like that's all Don does is talk about himself. He's gonna start going on his own YouTube channel so people can hear about his life. Like, people don't give a damn about your life. They want you to talk about summer. No stone unturned. All right, well, I've been on here 2 hours, so I'll try to come back on later. It's been nice being able to communicate with other like-minded people. I cannot believe he even put that out there. It will make us all feel better about our own life. And I'm sure people are actually going to pay for that. I won't. If I had a missing child, I wouldn't glue myself to an abduction theory. That's what's abnormal. They won't consider any other possibilities. Yeah, and I was watching No Thanks replay of Jody where she said, I'm just worried that she's chained up in a basement somewhere. And Dawn, I'm just worried that she's being beaten or chained up in a basement somewhere. Who says that? I mean, that's the craziest statement from both of them. Makes you wonder if she was chained up in a basement somewhere. It was a nice stream. Much love, everyone. Thank you. You're welcome, you guys, and thanks for coming. Yes, I love being able to chat and not have to deal with trolls or people coming at you for anything. Thank you. Love to chat. Well, thank you, guys. I'm going to go watch this yellow taxi, and maybe we can come back later and see who we see in that. All right, you guys, until next time, have a great day.